Hey guys, welcome to the AI team's Sprint 10 review and the Sprint 11 forecast. Let's jump right into it. So for our sprint goals, the first one is a new feature in the sprint skill. It's called Sprint Sync. So you can see on the top right here, there's a sync button, and that will sync all of the GitHub issues immediately. So this reduces the amount of time that people are spending running the skill. The second one that
sounds cool. So you get this, you see some of the data. If you're not happy with it, you press sync and see if it's now updated correctly.
Correct. You're keeping it up to date with the current board. So this means when people make changes, you can follow that.
What if it was a section? Let's just say it was that first section. And you go, oh, that's not right. It's not done. It's not done. So I'll go and update the item, and then you press sync, and it doesn't refresh the part you were thinking of.
This only refreshes this sprint backlog section.
Right. So probably it needs to actually spell that out. Sync or refresh sprint backlog so that you know which area it is.
All right, Michael, can you note that down, please?
Should we put the sync button actually right next to the GitHub backlog?
Yeah.
At the
Maybe
top
here somewhere.
Yeah, that would make more sense if you just move it down there.
Yep.
And why can't the other sections be synced as well?
Sync with what?
Well, I guess refresh because you're seeing data that is not correct.
From where though?
So let's just say that top one. So let's just say you see it as done and you go, hang on a sec, I changed that back to not done.
But that's a sprint goal.
Yeah, but isn't that refresh from the below?
But that doesn't have like a source of data that is pulling that from. That's the AI kind of putting that.
Right, and you can't get that regenerated based on other data?
Not yet, until we have AI listening in real time to the meeting and reacting to it, which is haven't done yet.
Okay. All right.
Yep. So following on the content hawk. So the done video has not been finished because there was some feedback from yourself and there was some additional ideas being put into content hawk. So maybe Caleb, you want to give a brief summary of why isn't it finished?
Yeah, it wasn't finished because at the end of the video, we decided we were going to improve the install experience. So the team's been working on an install script that's going to be downloadable from the Claude marketplace as a plugin. And by running this script, users will be able to install Content Hawk onto their repo without having to manually copy files over from it.
How are they going to install this, Ian?
The idea is they're going to be able to run a Claude skill, and then that's going to give them some prompts, and it'll be like an install wizard essentially. I've got a GIF of it in the PBI, but that we've even got a UI for some aspects of it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Cool. And the last one is the Tiger website and done video. So the Tiger website is live. However, the done video is not done, and Willow has offloaded it to Michael to complete that task.
Okay, all right. But she will still be involved in it, Michael, giving advice, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Just a couple of things. The very first one, what do you refer to this tool as? Is it called, like, have you got a name of this, the top one that's done?
Cheetah.
There's no official name. There's no official name. We have come up with an unofficial name called Cheetah.
Okay, all right. Well, if that's the
part of the big cat suite
on
the title.
Okay. Would you be able to put a prefix on that so I know what topic we're talking about? Can you put cheetah dash, added sprint sync or whatever? Yep. And with the last one, can you change that to say tiger dash, website? That's all. Yeah. Good.
Yep.
All right.
Cool. I'll keep it going. So in terms of the turnover hours.
Sorry to interrupt, Lewis. You have two
Yes.
W's in front of website.
Did I? Oh, thank you. Nice catch. Keep keep going. Internal hours. So myself and Michael were on the team for 3 days. Willow, Caleb, Jim, and Luke 2 days.
Great. Now, what were you working on, Lewis?
I was on the client presentation.
Oh, even though you've got a lot of hours on this team.
Yeah.
Is it meant to be on this team or should it be put to the
No,
client?
no, no. I didn't put in this team. I put in the clients. But that's why it was 3 days.
All right. Okay. But I'm asking you what you're working on in this sprint.
Oh, crystal ball.
Oh, great. Okay. And how come Crystal Ball is not on the goals?
That's a great question. I think it was just something we missed when
Okay.
putting sprint goals last
The
week.
main reason is that it's not AI, so I'm hesitant to make it an AI
Right.
goal.
Okay. All right. It's probably the most important thing I want done.
For you, maybe.
Yeah. So that's why it probably should be on the sprint goals, but is already a lot of goals up there. The good thing is you're working on what I wanted. So the answer is great, but I had to ask because I didn't see it there. So
Fair enough.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
for
everything
next-
you're working on is great.
Next sprint, the goal we can add a crystal ball one as well, so you're
Right.
aware. Cool. So on to the sprint backlog. So Michael, do you want to cover some of the changes and features you added to the sprint skill, or AKA cheetah?
Let's zoom that up, by the way.
Yes.
Sure thing. So the main thing is the sprint sync. That was a big pain point that we got from the Canary testers. It was primarily that during their sprint review sessions, they would move issues around, discuss amongst themselves on who should do what or what should be prioritized. And then once they've done moving it, they would have to sit around and wait as AI went through and pulled down the fresh data for the sprint board. So we initially tried to turn that into a lightweight skill that just updates this section. But from testing, it still took around 6 to 7 minutes of sitting around, which was too long. So instead, we've gone with a GitHub Pat token here, which is able to sync up to the project board and is able to refresh in generally 2 seconds or less.
Right. I didn't fully get the pain, Alan, did you? I understand how he solved it. I didn't understand the initial pain.
Well, if you generate this summary,
Yeah.
when the GitHub backlog isn't up to date, then you update the GitHub backlog. Say someone hasn't marked an item as done or whatever.
Yeah.
Then previously you'd have to rerun the skill in order to update the summary HTML.
Which is the entire thing.
Yeah, and that takes several minutes.
Right.
And it shouldn't take several minutes because this is just a reflection of what's in GitHub.
Right.
So now we connect to GitHub and immediately update it.
Right. Are you using less tokens now for that?
So this part isn't agentic, it's just programmatic.
I know this bit isn't, but when you run the whole thing, it is.
Yes.
So how many tokens were you using before, or do you not bother measuring this stuff?
We don't bother measuring them.
Bother measuring it.
Because you're token free.
That's right. It's an abundance mindset which we've adopted.
Oh, goodness. All right. Eddie has a lot to answer for. All right.
What have I created?
Stuff.
A monster. Because
Anything?
here's the thing. And this is very common with websites as well. We tested in our office on a MacBook Pro with a fast gigabit connection. And then other clients are on a phone with 2 bars and they don't have the same experience. And they have to report to us the performance is terrible. And we go, what? You know? So it's the same thing here. If you want this to be shared,
Do we?
well,
Be shared outside SSW?
well, we have a rule about, do you do Scrum this way and make an email? Now we could advertise that you can have a skill. You might even sell the skill, right? If that's the case, it is kind of cavalier not to even have any idea of how many tokens.
Well,
It is something you could say that's on the backlog to look at.
sure.
Or we can wait until clients, complain or people complain.
I was under the impression we're not sharing this stuff externally
Well, I don't know where you got that impression.
from you. You said don't put it in the client backlog because it's a part of our secret source.
Oh, did we agree to that for this?
Well, that was your
particular thing?
instruction, yeah, for the sprint summary stuff.
No, honestly, I don't remember that conversation. All right.
So moving forward, should we be angling as this is something that we're going to share publicly, or
Well, I think apparently I made a very good point about this. I think I will talk to Gordon about because
something?
he is also hesitant about working out. Like we are giving the clients everything we do, and we want to have some IP like we used to. We used to have like our own little libraries and different things that we gave to clients, and we updated for free based on other clients. I do think that we will give this to certain clients, but we'd only give them the update if they're still a client, probably.
So why would we give this to clients? Because it's only useful while we are working for them anyway.
Right,
So
okay.
they don't even need it, do they?
Maybe, yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah. But I can imagine that we would put it on there that we do sell a skill. And if you know, there should be a way that we share what we have, like a whole bunch for free and premium things charged.
Sure.
I think we can take this offline and then continue that
Yeah.
afterwards.
Okay.
Michael, anything else to point out?
Issue number 20, rename hit limits. So that one was a pain point that was brought up by yourself and also the other teams. So I've renamed the column from hit limits to avoided limits. That way we can keep the green tick with yes and red cross with no.
Oh.
And I've also changed it to a drop down, so it's an easier interaction.
I feel like I'm agreeing. I'm not sure. I don't feel like it's there yet.
What was the initial
think-
problem? Can I ask?
We want to know whether people got blocked because of they've used all their tokens up and they had to wait 4 hours or something. Now, I guess what you could do is you could have it so AI blockages, and then you could say tick all good, warning minor and cross major. I think that might be another way of doing it.
Sure thing. We can try it out next sprint and then you can revisit and let us know how you feel.
While we're on this, and I was just wondering, Eddie, can you just look at the backlog that we have and put cheetah as a prefix and all the cheetah items?
Yeah, sure.
Episode will be from 16 to 22, please.
Say again.
Oh, I'm just letting Eddie know. It's number item 16 to 22 on the sprints board.
Nice.
All right.
Michael, anything else?
Everything else were small changes that other teams requested in terms of just fixing up formatting, fixing up behavior here and there.
Sorry, are we still on cheetah?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, which teams liked it a lot?
The Tina Cloud team were pretty happy with it. They brought a lot of valuable perspective into it because they run their sprint reviews in a way where they want to be able to type into it, where they're discussing things, they want to be able to type it down.
Yep.
So they brought a lot of like a different perspective that helped me add features that made it so you're not locked into relying on AI to change everything.
Okay. Anybody else liked it?
The Yakshaver team thought it was pretty cool. They had a few issues that I've spoken with Tom and Rick as well as Stephen about just fixing up.
Okay. Anyone not like it?
I wouldn't say anyone's against it. They're all just saying, hey, this is a good idea, but it's still flawed at the moment.
Right.
Here's what I'd like to fix.
Okay. And have you spoken to the time pro team?
No,
Sylvia?
I haven't had a chance because I saw the email and they're on holiday today.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are they? Gee,
The China office is on holiday.
Chinese office is always on holiday. All the time. All right. All right. Do you think the Yakshaver team will use it today, Tom?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I was helping Stephen with it.
That's great. Do you think the Tina team will use it tomorrow?
Yes, I spoke with Eli on Friday and I'll speak with him today just to make sure everything's all
Oh,
good again.
that's great. That's amazing. Well done. This is awesome. Okay.
Yeah, awesome.
How much time is it saving them?
I haven't had a chance to ask them the exact numbers, but they've said that it's definitely saving them time with setting things up. currently, I wouldn't say it's saving them enough to make it worthwhile, just because there are issues to fix.
Yep.
But I'm certain that
Mhm.
once we iron out the kinks, it will save them a lot
Right.
of time.
How do you feel about calling them up with Barshad or something, one of the TV guys, and asking them to have a camera there, etc., and you record the session, then you've got a tiny little bit of social media from it, you know, them using it, you know. So Eli goes, well, all right, so what I'll do is I'll click this and I've got my sprint generator. This is fantastic, great, you know, it's a great agent skill here.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
On to the next section, which is about crystal ball. So I did some small tasks. So I added some testing to CI/CD because we weren't actually testing beforehand in the pipeline, and added some format consistency so that someone else pick up the project will actually they'll keep a very similar formatting. And what I did this week was I added a new section. So if I'll go to myself. I'll zoom in a little bit. So there's a new section now called collaborators, and this is basically a very high level view looking at GitHub and Azure DevOps pull requests to see who do you work with the most. So in this case, you can see that I've worked with Michael the most this month, because I've been approving a lot of his PRs and he's been approving a lot of mine. So this gives you a very nice high level view. And there was also another bug that I had to fix this week for people that have different names on their timesheeting system versus the people profile. So someone like Hark wasn't loading because on SSW people he was called Hark, not Harkarat. But that has been fixed as well.
Why wouldn't you just go into Time Pro and change that?
So I had a look at the Time Pro API. I got Claude to dive into it, and there was no immediate link with GitHub that I could find. It was through CRM.
What I'm saying is, why wouldn't you go into Time Pro and change it from Harkarat to Hark?
Oh, I hadn't thought about it.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
Did anyone else know what Lewis was working on? Michael, did you think about just going to Time Pro and changing it?
I did not. I guess I was under the assumption that people's names shouldn't be changed on the Time Pro system.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that is a wrong assumption.
Yeah, it definitely is.
No, his name shouldn't be different in different places. That would be a
Fair enough.
better assumption. And
Okay.
yep, he started with that name, then he shrunk it down. And
Okay.
so it should be the same everywhere.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, so you can talk to Hark about this after that and fix that.
Okay, and then-
I'm not sure about your code. I'm assuming you can get rid of it or
Yep, it will
comment
probably
it
get
out.
rid. That's
It
no
might
worries.
come up again, so you could leave it there.
Yeah, I could just leave it there. And then yeah.
But
So
honestly,
that's
in a
all.
perfect world, I'd want you to notice it and go, oh, should I rename it or should I write the code? I'm not sure. I'm going to quickly call Callum and Adam and ask their opinion.
Mm.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, Time Pro is a time sheeting system. I was like, I'm not touching. I don't really want to interfere
Yeah,
if that breaks something.
I
But yeah,
understand you don't want to, but that's why you ask others. But you
Of
should
course,
be able
yeah.
to think of different alternatives.
sure.
Okay.
Cool. Can you just note that down so I'll talk to Hark afterwards?
Yep.
Thank you. Any questions other than that on Crystal Ball?
Right.
What do you think about the layout? Is this easy
I
to
think
read?
I certainly would love people to comment on this. You can see the hours. The first two are kind of billable and internal. It feels like they're one unit. The next one is completed and points. It feels like another unit that should be kind of together. The next one is hours per point and hours per PBI. I feel like the hours per point could be underneath the points delivered, and the hours per PBI could be underneath the completed PBIs. Like those ones seem to be together. And then you can have like a gap of one cell there, so that you've got these ones over here and these ones over there, and they're joined. But what I do is I just quickly mock that up. Send Callum and I 2 options, A or B. Which one do you prefer? But then you'd at least see the hours are one, the action, is another with the calcs underneath the number. I really like the collaborators stuff. I think it's good. I think that's great. I do see his name at the top, and I'm not sure why I need to see his email twice. Doesn't seem right to me.
Oh, that's a good point. This was
yeah.
I can definitely have a relook at this whole
Yeah.
thing, which is the next thing I'll be
Right.
working on next sprint.
And then
Yeah.
I would put the GitHub logo next to the GitHub thing and the DevOps thing next to the DevOps
Sure.
thing.
Yep.
But I can't tell from then where the data is coming from. I assume it could be coming from GitHub. I'm just guessing, but I don't know. Maybe none of the data is coming from Azure DevOps, and I should kind of know that from a little bar after the name. Like you could have GitHub, and then GitHub username, and then activity, and then DevOps, name, and then activity. And you can kind of see, oh, look, basically, Hark uses GitHub only. You can see there's nothing there in
Right.
DevOps. Yeah, I think that'd be much better.
Okay.
At the very bottom, you've got previous and then next and previous next to each other. I know why, but it's odd. They should be in the center. The previous and next should
Sure.
be in the center of both.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will put them all together, all the feedback, and implement that.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Thank you. The next one I want to point out is about the Tiger website. So Willow has done some work on that, and it has been deployed. So sswtiger.com. We have our website here.
Who did the test please on this?
Test please off.
I tested this one with Willow.
Okay. Well, it looks nice. Very dark. Bit of red. I can see a tiger background. Scroll down. FAQ. Talk to it. Yep. Powered by Tina CMS. Nice. I definitely would like something where there is a link there to SSW at the bottom. Like, it's powered by Tina CMS. That's good. That's the thing. Maybe in the top right, it has a button. I'm not sure. Eddie, Callum, do you have let's just say somebody gets onto this, you do want them to be able to somehow find their way back to SSW and all the other cool stuff we do. Maybe
down here, like powered by Tina, created
No.
by, or something.
This
mean,
is
maybe-
running on the. Sorry, if you don't mind me interjecting, this is running on the multi-tenanted
Correct.
SSW products site,
Correct.
same as the Shaper AI and Eagle Eye. So I was thinking we could just stick something into the banner that links off to SSW, and then it says this product was developed by SSW.
How about something?
I'm more thinking of some little icon at the top that, you click on that, and then you've got other things like, rules to better AI, which takes to the rule about this,
How about something?
takes to SSW.
At the very bottom,
Actually, that has a powered by SSW button. That's just somewhere on the page. We could do something.
You could try it. You could try that.
Doesn't this one say powered by Tina CMS?
Yeah, because that's the blog engine, basically.
yeah, but you have to end it says.
That's why. Yeah, that's why I wouldn't put it there, but you could.
Yeah.
Or if
I
we
can
just
definitely send you-
steal the banner from the Tina website. If you go to tina.io,
That's
scroll to the
that's
bottom.
another way. Yeah, you can just throw the banner in or the mega menu.
Oh yeah, something like that. Yeah.
That is a much better way of doing it. Yeah, at the bottom.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. In addition to that, she wrote up 2 docs for. Oh wait. Where's the page here? She wrote up 2 docs. For setting up Tiger and then modifying prompts, and I had a look to make sure it all made sense. And the last thing was that she replaced the Tiger icon. It was the old icon, so replacing it with the new logo in the team spot. Any questions on that?
That just didn't look like the website for some reason.
That's the Teams bot.
Right.
Just
yeah.
now was a team spot, yeah.
Yeah, it just didn't look similar. Do you have any screenshots on this SSW Tiger thing?
Not at the moment.
We can add a couple for sure.
It would be nice to like embed a real report into that page.
Oh, into here.
Yeah. Just as like the next component,
Yeah,
actually like
probably.
have a report there that you can click through.
Yeah, so like a live view basically of an example.
Yeah.
You know, they test it out.
Cool. We're good to move on. Caleb, did you want to mention the skill update for Content Hawk?
Yeah, I could mention it. Like this, there's just a screenshot there showing the install script and how it could look. It hasn't got all the environment variables that users need. It's but yeah, I did manage to come up with this like web view that pops up when you run this skill that runs a bunch of commands that installs it to a repo in a PR. So that simplifies the install quite a bit.
So yeah, that's good progress. This is becoming a big thing. Are you guys seeing how YouTubers or anything allow people to grab their skills, like share skills and stuff?
Yeah.
Because do you know how they do it?
They have like if you're a subscriber on their like Patreon or something
Yeah.
like that, they'll share it with you on a locked paywall post.
Right. And what they'll give you how do they want you to install it?
They just give you the file and then you set it up yourself.
Right. And so if they update it, how do you know they've got updates?
Oh, you have to still be one of their paying subscribers, right?
Right. But how do you know when to grab it to install the updates? Well, this is all done manually. We've taken a big step backwards.
There are options. So Rick showed me on Friday using an npx command, which was a pretty awesome setup. And you can also do, I believe it's a marketplace or
Right.
either a marketplace or a plugin, where you can control the updating easier.
Yeah, I thought the marketplace was the right way to do it.
Right.
So are we going with the should Caleb go through with the marketplace approach? I thought that's what you were doing, Caleb.
Yeah, the plan was to publish this to the Anthropic marketplace as a plugin.
So does that keep the versioning as well? So if it's updated, will it automatically pull in a new update?
For the installer, I would assume so.
Yeah, it does. I just looked it up. And you just create your own marketplace by creating a marketplace.json file in the repo, and people add that marketplace, which we already have for
cool.
SSW agent skills.
Okay, so that's that kind of sorted. So the versioning will be handled through the marketplace.
Yeah, it probably performs some check when you launch Claude Code to see if there's an update.
Nice. Adam, does that answer your question?
What was the answer?
So marketplace has maintains the version updates. So if there's a new update, it will automatically pull it.
Right. Okay. All right.
If you wanna somehow charge people for it and like restrict access, it's all a GitHub repo. So that would just be a matter of like adding someone to a private repo, and then they can add the marketplace into their Claude Code.
Cool. So am I good to continue?
Yep.
Alrighty. The wrong thing open. So I'll hand it over to Eddie to go through R&D.
Yeah. For R&D, we've got 4 items here. The first one was sprinting a sprint sync, which is syncing the GitHub backlog issues on the AI generated report via a GitHub personal access token. So you just input your PAT and it syncs. And I guess this is R&D because previously we were just doing a generated report, and now you kind of have this dynamic display of data, which also kind of gets generated, which is a nice hybrid approach. The next one is using Tiger for a client meeting. So that's part of dog fooding a little bit and seeing how Tiger goes with an initial meeting rather than a sprint review, which apparently it was quite useful. Then Crystal Ball score gamification analysis is regarding Lewis's concerns about how the idea or if people know that their PBI effort is being analyzed and tracked in a report, this may affect their behavior. And I think it's a valid concern. And then the next one.
The only obvious behavior change is they will want a PBI rather than send it to me in an email. Isn't that the main change?
There's that. There's also a caveat of like when an item gets moved to the next sprint, the value normally gets updated to a lower value. So some items may not reflect the true effort. And we have no way of tracking the history of PBI values because it's just like a field.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Good.
And it may, I think, inflate some PBIs, but maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. So people may be more likely to assign an 8 to something that might have been a 4.
Yeah, I think typically this is what happens. Somebody estimates an 8 and then they do a chunk of it and they discover some more. They say it's not done and then they do it in the next sprint and it's an 8 again with a bit more like because the extra functionality and they've already done some. I guess they lost 8 points.
Maybe the behavior change should be rather than editing that issue, you mark it as done and move the remaining work into a new issue.
Yeah, you could do it that way. That might be I'm not sure I would say done unless they deployed something. I think, maybe you need another status that was partially done so it can be done, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
We've been through this a lot. Try to estimate what you can do and try to finish an item.
And the final bit of R&D is the Callum's idea of using Cheetah for annual review prep. So rather than having a Trello board, we can instead use a GitHub project for managing your certain goals, and then use the GitHub repo for storing all of your transcripts and whatever raw unstructured data might be relevant to that. Feel free to elaborate more, Callum. But I think that's the gist.
Yeah, basically. So we were thinking, what other applications have we got for this skill? And the annual review preparation seems like a low-hanging fruit. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Alrighty. And then for AI tool usage, Callum is on Claude Code, Yakshaver desktop or all versions, and Codex with GPT 5.5. Luke Mao, Claude Code, and ChatGPT, and Gemini Pro. Caleb Williams, Claude Code, GitHub Copilot. Everyone's on Claude Code.
Update this, by the way, to just bold the differences. That should definitely be possible.
Yeah,
usually we just read out what are the differences to last time.
Yeah.
I guess the difference is Eddie joining back, so he gets to read his own ones.
Yes, and I'm the only one on the 5x subscription. Somehow not hitting limits, but I don't know. Maybe I'm grandfathered into the old usage limits. And yeah, nothing else has changed on that front, right?
No. Nice.
Okay.
Then I'll hand it over to Michael to go through AI stats.
Sure thing. For the Claude stats, it's pretty much summarized the PBIs that we covered. So it was the key PBIs to cover, alongside a few smaller bug fixes. And then if we scroll down to the co-pilot stats, you'll see the speaker summary was Lewis, Callum, myself, Caleb, and Eddie. Obviously, Lewis was the highest speaker because he was the Scrum Master, and Callum gave a lot of valuable insight. And we had a section where we had a bit of a discussion regarding how we can further incorporate AI into things. With Copilot analyzing what the main issue completed was, it said the sprint sync, which was correct as it was our sprint goal for this sprint. And yes, so I'll pass it back.
So that's meant to have a green ticker under it,
Yep.
saying it was accurate.
Oops. I'll fix that up. I think it's just, I don't know, but a green
So-
tick.
Yeah. Figure this is accurate.
Awesome.
All right. So we'll skim over these decisions and backlog changes. There's not much. Yeah, there's nothing interesting to point out. And yeah, hand it over to Caleb to go through the backlog stats in the snapshot.
Yeah, so the team is continuing their trend of over delivering this sprint. We had an average velocity of 25 points, 49 open items, and 24 committed. And yeah, the team is in general just under committing and over delivering.
Thank you for that, Caleb. Callum, are you able to go through the sprint retro?
Absolutely. So what went well? Sprint sync working in production, which is obviously pretty cool. Sprint email and GitHub PR feature landed well. That phrasing sounds very Claude-like, doesn't it? Saying things that landed, I've noticed. Anyway, yeah, so that's cool. As Caleb said, we're delivering on what we estimated, which is cool. What didn't go so well? So it was already mentioned, Lewis brought up the crystal ball gamification sort of thing. And I guess from my point of view, something that I want to do for next sprint and moving forward is thinking about what our next major AI project or AI direction should be. So one of the obvious things was generalizing Tiger to handle different types of meetings, like initial meetings or other things like that. And then the other one that Eddie brought up just before was Cheetah annual review preparation. So those are a couple of sort of new things we could move on to after we've finished our current stuff.
That's a great idea. I think you should put that in the roadmap, for the big ideas.
For Cheetah?
Yeah.
Sure. We don't have a roadmap currently, but I guess we can create one and then put it in there. But yeah, I think generalizing Tiger, we should definitely put that on the roadmap because that is a public website already.
Yep. And do. So I just want to create a roadmap.
Any questions on that, or should we keep it moving?
No.
All right, let's keep it moving. Kick it back to you, Lewis.
Thank you very much, Callum. So that's all for the retro and onto the forecast. So our sprint goals will be to roll out the sprint ceremony skill, the Cheetah, to as many teams as possible. So right now we've only done it for Yakshiv and Tina, and we've answered a lot of their feedback. So we're going to start releasing it for more and more teams. And the second one is Crystal Ball. So finishing off Crystal Ball and recording the done video, but there has been a few more suggestions, so that the done video might be held off until there's more improvements, until all those improvements are done. But I'll try to get as much done in terms of the design for Crystal Ball as well, and all these extra features. And yeah, so going through the sprint backlog here. So we have some brought in from last sprint, and then a few extra for Cheetah here, and then Crystal Ball. And Eddie will be working on the spike to generalize tigers, which is what Callum just spoke about. Any questions on these PBIs?
No, all good.
If not, then I'll hand it over to Michael to wrap up with the AI stats.
Yep. Thanks, Lewis. I'll just take over the screen share. So here we have our Tiger dashboard for this week. Couple key decisions to call out is that the sprint skill is now officially named Cheetah as part of the SSW Big Cat suite. The dones and next steps are previously covered, and we've got a hard truth that only 2 teams are using Cheetah at the moment, which is true. So we're going to really focus on trying to get more teams on it, including the Time Pro and management team. Looking at the speaker timeline, nothing too noteworthy, but it has called out a little discussion as a bit of a time waste, which I would disagree with. I think we got a lot of value out of that discussion.
Agreed.
Looking at our people and roles, our scores are all pretty good with a collaboration score of 8 out of 10. And then something I thought was interesting was the buried opportunities, which happen to be everything that we discussed regarding using Tiger for initial meetings, making it more generalized, potentially looking into real-time AI updates where we can feed in a transcript to an AI agent as our meeting is going on. So perhaps we can see changes happen as things go instead of having to wait till the end and running a skill. And then obviously the integration or generalization of Cheetah to be used for annual reviews. So I think those were pretty awesome. And those were what I thought was most interesting from the dashboard. Was there anything anyone wanted to take a look at? If not, I'll pass it back to Lewis to wrap things up.
Thank you. Just before I end it, I'll just quickly go through the AI stats because I forgot about these. So they're called the next steps. Yeah, all reference kind of the PBIs that we're working on. So documentation for Cheetah. I'm going to create the spreadsheet to keep track of our canary testing. And yeah, some content hawk ones and lots of asking different teams for adopting Cheetah into their workflows. As for the Copilot stats, it asks.
Hold on.
Yep.
That one has the same heading, Claude stats. Oh, sorry, my mistake. With these next steps, can you ask it to put prefixes on there of the project names?
Michael, can I get you to do that?
Yes, I can.
And maybe fix it up before sending it.
Yes.
Yep. Sure.
And the alignment of the figure is with wonky.
This one, this
Yep.
figure text. This I can fix it up in the email. That's all good. With the Copilot stats.
Why are you fixing the email? Why doesn't it fix here?
This one doesn't have an alignment. So once it gets copied to the email, I can change the alignment better.
But why not fix it in the source of Cheetah?
Oh, yeah, that can be
Yeah.
fixed in Cheetah as well.
I'll add a note for
Yeah,
that.
align it left and bold it.
No problem.
Bold it, I can bold it. With the Copilot stats, it's at the main. The next item to do is to ship the Tiger Done video. So that's incorrect because that wasn't one of the goals that we listed. Although that's something that we do eventually want to get to. And that wraps it up. Any final questions?
Is there an email address for this group? Like the other ones have like SSW Tina at SSW.
SSW.ai at SS.
Sure, there's not a dot in the email address. Would it be SSW AI?
I'm gonna have to double check, but I remember Chris made an email group for us. Can quickly check.
Can you show us where you're looking for this?
I'm just checking my emails. So just check my email. Is it? Oh, but I don't want to show just in case it reveals some hidden things I'm not supposed to show. But I am looking up.
Open up one email.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the email that I got. So I got sent an email from Open Router to SSW AI when we were creating the account. I can look at that. It's taking a while to load. So if I see, oh, if I open up the email here, ssw.ai. Oh, there's no dot. sswai@ssw.com.au.
It is? Okay. Great, thanks.
Cool. Any other questions?
No?
If not, this video will be on the SSWAI YouTube channel. Thanks all for joining. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Lewis.